all basically like pedestal jobs.
Mm-hmm.
How do you... Fuck, I could just say that, pedestal jobs. But like, how do
Hello?
you describe that? Like, in
Okay,
words?
so China has to do a project, right? Blah 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 blah. I gave him the idea because China can't do anything because he's incompetent.
No, I wanted to do that,
Anyways,
but I just couldn't
the
decide which
idea
one.
was that school systems are broken, and one of the reasons could be about like child like not development. In development.
Do you want me to give you an entire lecture?
Wait, shut up. Because like you know how school systems only push you to do in certain like go to certain spots or go to certain like careers, and they don't like show you about much about band unless you like are really focused in band or art or like any other kind of like home act or stuff like that, because they just want you to go for the best of the best, you know what I mean? So they're very pedestal jobs, and you just you really are blinded to everything else. Why? Because everything else has lower income, and because like they don't want you to shoot someone that's lower, they want you to shoot for the top, you know? And that system is low-key broken. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me explain what I was going to talk about.
Hold on.
Okay?
First of all, before you go on with this, what I'm doing isn't.
China, you can record the voice in case you need to hear later.
How do I record that?
You can record what we're talking about.
Don't I have to be like an in-game to record audio?
I think.
Oh,
No, then I'll just record it and put it on YouTube and you can watch it later.
Okay, but basically I have to do research. Like I have to find
on the
like,
school system itself, or just in that general topic?
General topic about school system. But it has to be researchable.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
I can give you that. Okay. Although a lot of people try to do the whole testing basis and everything, the reason why the entire system of schooling is broken is because there's no real way to measure intelligence. And here's why. You know Boycott Baby Eric, the guy that's sometimes in this lobby sometimes? Yeah. He's an amazing welder. He's the best at our school. But he's not great at writing essays, he's not great at math, he's not great at doing a lot of stuff, right? But he's a fantastic welder. That's his craft. Now, me on the other hand, I could not weld worth of shit, but I can write essays easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where you're just like, how are you gonna base any test off of any? He's grabbing heavy, but hang on, let me restart. I was distracted by the game. There's just so much stuff I could talk about, like okay, education system. Everybody is good at their own thing, and not everybody's gonna be good at a certain subject. Everybody knows that. Even the teachers and administrators and everybody knows that. But the education system is so broken that they'll only help all the people that actually are bright in those areas, and not everybody else that's struggling in it. Because they'll be like, oh, they're not trying hard enough. No, they're not understanding it, and they want you to understand that they need help. But since they're not getting that type of help, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's the sad part about it. The education system is so fucked that it's only going to help people that come from privileged types of communities. Because you see low-income communities all the time who don't have the resources, who don't have anything, and their students flake out or get turned to the streets, not because of where they come from, but because their schooling system is not doing enough for them. And there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can talk about. Like, there's research studies that showed the guy that made standardized testing said this should not be issued out to students because this is not a real measurement for testing standards. And to go along with that, it's like those pedestal. Oh, I'm getting shot at. But those pedestal things, right? The whole engineer and stuff like that. They are literally structuring that as, like, in our school, it's pathways. Our pathways are structured like, oh, if you want to become a doctor or go into the health field, you go to health institute. If you want to go into engineering, you go to ag mechanics and stuff like that. You go to do this, you do that, you do that, you do this. But then they have all the people that don't make it into those classes, into the straggling classes, and they don't do anything. And they struggle, and they don't go anywhere with those. They don't have the head starts most students do. And I see that's the problem with a lot of the system today, and it's very difficult to do what you want to do in life now, because like, I guarantee you, high school has not prepared anybody for college. 100% hasn't.
Nope. Yeah, that can be said by more like bigger schools.
Yeah, Oh, even better example. So, I know you live in Fresno, right? What school do you
Yeah.
go to in Fresno?
Patino.
Okay. You know about Central, Edison, all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Big example is Edison. Most of Edison, if you look at most of Edison's outgoing graduates are either going to 4 years based off of, did we mercy them?
Mm-hmm. Look how many kills I got.
I haven't checked it, hang on.
Look at that kitty.
Oh shit.
Uh-huh, keep it going.
As I was saying, like you look at Central and all of them, right? And they have huge schools with a lot of money, and a lot of fun. The reason why they have a lot of money is because they have a lot of kids going there. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, that makes sense. More people means more funding. That's why they want you. They're so emphasized on perfect attendance because they get more money off of that. That's why you have a lot of low income.
Wait. Okay, go.
Okay. Okay. As far as the whole pedestal thing. Oh yeah, I found my train of thought. I was rambling on trying to see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. Okay. It sets too high of a standard, I want to say. In high school, nobody knows what they want to do in life.
Nope.
Even though you have an idea of what you want to do, that's an idea. It's not your actual like dream unless you're really passionate about it, right?
That's why I find senior projects useful but stupid at the same time.
Yeah. Here's my thing on it. I understand. You want to support the students. You want to give them ideas on what to do. You want them like to support them, be like, hey, dream big, do all this and that. But you're setting too high of a standard. Here's the problem. When there are high expectations, especially amongst people that are like gifted in a certain thing, they have not only the weight of responsibility that comes with it, but they have the weight of that high expectation. They feel that if they don't excel to that bar that they set, they failed. And that's the problem. The problem is once they see that themselves that they failed, they feel like a failure. They feel like they're stupid. They feel like they can't do it. And
What
that's the bad
happened to
thing
me
about it.
whenever I got kicked out of Health Institute?
Yeah. It's like when they set the bar so high that if you failed once, you feel like crap. You feel like you're worthless. And that's a huge problem. Because the bar is set so high. Like, everybody can tell you, the number one thing that everybody hates is the fact that there's so many expectations for them, and if they can't meet it, it sucks. And then, okay, 100%. China and Japan both do this. This is a huge example. China and Japan's education systems. They study for years.
China.
There's no tests, no nothing. They study for years and years and years. And they all take one test that decides whether or not they go into college or not.
Yeah.
And that is why Japan and China have one of the highest suicide rates in the entire world, because of the fact that kids who fail that test feel like they failed at life, feel like they dishonored their
they don't know
families,
what to do
and they
now.
kill themselves. And that is a terrible thing. Imagine that, studying for your entire life, only to take a test that was going to determine your future, and you fail it. And at that moment, you have to understand, how does that make someone like you don't understand how terrible that is? Like, we complain about testing and standardized testing here, but like them, that's their whole life. Their entire life is determined off that one test. And to go off the things that like, oh yeah, people are freaking emotionally, like, or not emotionally, but like physically challenged and shit like that, how's that fair for them? And it's just such a terrible thing, because you set such a high expectation, such a high bar, and if they don't make it, they feel worthless. Rather than explore someone's individuality and explore someone's creative abilities, they'd rather just shun it and just go off a test that has no meaning to anything. Like, how is a test in pre-calc gonna determine, or not determine, but dictate who I am as a person? Like, although I'm not good at pre-calc, I guarantee you I'm good at freaking history. What was I gonna say? But yeah, that's like the terrible part about that, and it's like, there's a lot of elements that go into it. One, the curriculum is broken because it's setting like unnecessary standards for students, and it's not needed. Like, how is this SBAC test going to determine my intelligence, even though you don't know that person's specific skill set? Even if you grade it by ranking, it still doesn't make sense to do it that way, because you don't measure anybody's real intelligence like that.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's just one. And then the other thing would be freaking just plain and simple, what do you, like, prepping these students for? You're saying your high school is meant to prep them for the future, but yet you give them meaningless tests and exams that won't prep them for the future, just makes them more stressed out in the whole like daily gist of it. But yeah, it's just a whole bunch of things that go into it. It's like you have to talk to the curriculum. The curriculum's all fucked up. The entire system's fucked up. The high expectations of students, and then like the unfair standards of like, oh, I'm studying to be a doctor. You're studying to be a welder. I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Like how is that like a good thing to have? And it's like okay, props to you that you're doing you. But you have no bounty over it, and it also sets a standard like of like social like things about the students, because in reality, I had to clear my throat. When you're looking at it, big example, Randy and all of them, they think they're better than everybody because they know more than a lot of people, and that's just simply not true. No one truly knows a lot more than anybody else. Because I guarantee you, if he tried to do the stuff Eric tried to do, he wouldn't be able to do it. And then it's the same way with us too. It's like, yeah, like you might be more gifted in math than others, but I guarantee you, if they gave you a football and told you to run me over, you're not gonna run my ass over. I guarantee you that. I will literally go without pads and I'll give you pads. You're not running me over.
What does mathematics have to do with sports?
Chris, get no pads.
Exactly.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
the point.
Pads.
Someone can be smarter at one thing, and the other person can be smarter at something else. They're completely
or better at something
different.
else. Everybody's unique in their own way, and everybody learns in a
That's why
different way,
academics are so fucking stupid. They don't show true smartness. When people say, "Oh, I have straight A's," and someone else has straight C's, and they're like, "Oh, I'm smarter than you," that's absolutely fucking stupid.
That is.
I don't have straight A's as like Randy and all them, but I'm still getting accepted to colleges because I worked my ass off for it.
That's stupid, because I have straight F's and I'm smarter than a fucking straight A student. A straight A student doesn't mean nothing. That just means you're doing your work in class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're basing education off that basis. That's the problem with it. That's what the whole thing we're discussing. It's not a boomer conversation. It's literally the entire thing that this is surrounding.
It doesn't really actually. It just depends on what college, because they didn't really care. Like, look at me. I have straight F's last semester, and I have bad grades right now. Yeah, I'm still getting scholarships from universities.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. My colleges, I've gotten rejected from a few, but I've gotten into some of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
I try to go like set the higher standard. Like, I try to go to the highest UCs in California. I didn't make it, but you know, it's just worth a try. You know.
I've been invited to like 5 other colleges just because, like, it doesn't matter about your grades. It just depends on what topic you're trying to learn. Like, for me, I'm in IT. I like computers. And I've been invited to so many colleges, and I got a scholarship from many colleges for IT.
Are they communities or 4 years?
They're 4 years, so Kansas University invited me. What's it called? UMKC, which is another top college over here. There's a lot of top colleges that invited me just for IT stuff. It just depends on what school you're trying to get into. Like, some schools just don't care about your grades; they just care about your skill.
Yeah. Like the college Eric's going to, it doesn't matter. Like if you failed.
Mostly if you like, especially with sports, if you're like, obviously they're not gonna like, they don't really care.
You just need a 2.0 and you'll be fine.
No, well, you just need to pass your classes, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's every athlete. That's every athlete at our school. That's every athlete at every school, to be honest.
They just want, like, every athlete just wants to be eligible to play, and then once college scouts fucking find you and they invite you to the college to get a scholarship, it doesn't really matter about your grade.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much, I would say, like, there's a lot of stuff you could.
There are outlets, but it's like those outlets aren't like everywhere for like every student.
Yeah.
Like there's.
It's not a free opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
Even though they're like, oh, we claim that we can do this and this and this. No, you can't. Your education system is bad. Not saying that everybody else's like education around the world is better, but no, it's not. Just saying. It's like you're kidding yourself if you think our education system's better than everybody else's.
That's everyone though.
Christian actually went to Modern Warfare.
Call him.
Dude, school is stupid.
So what was the topic about, Chad?
Anime. I don't know how the hell we got here. But no, just anything school related. Cause I wanted to like, I have my own topic that I can research. It's my decision. I just wanted something about like the broken school system. So I have something to show, like to. I want to be able to present something to go against the teachers. To give them something to think about from our point of view.
Are we
You
inviting
know,
Christian?
you know what's
Broken
stupid
school
though is that if you do present this and whatever, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea," and they'll just move on.
Dismiss it.
Yeah.
Why? Because in their eyes, the system's perfect. Like, because kids go to college, and kids that aren't quote unquote smart don't go to college, and that's what they just go and work somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean?
You do realize that like some of the biggest brands and everything that everybody uses today are from people who didn't go to college.
Yeah. A lot of the popular / big stuff is from a
Dude.
lot of people that don't go to college.
Steve Jobs wasn't even smart. He literally went to college he went to a community off of freaking sociology. And he became a billionaire. His brand.
Facebook was created by 2 teenagers.
Yep. Walt Disney was created in a garage by a little kid.
I mean,
Disneyland was a whole thing too.
well, that's one thing though. Kids have fucking imagination. That's literally Walt Disney.
Everybody has
Disneyland.
imagination.
I know, but you said like it's a kid in a garage. Obviously, it'll like kind of be
Well-
weird if an old man made it in a fucking garage or a fucking teenager or something like that. Unless
Why
you're
are
a
we playing
brony.
Crystal, Chris?
I don't know where Christian is.
All right,
Why are we playing Crystal? I thought we were gonna play the iron thing.
Oh.
China, am I gonna get invited or what? Please,
For what?
Minecraft.
Oh, I was just messing around so I can record the audio.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah, I'm just recording the audio so I can look at this later.
Invite me.
What the fuck was that?
Hold on,
Sure.
I'm fixing my HDMI.
I mean, if Christian's not
Thank
gonna
you,
be
Dad.
playing Destiny, I'm just gonna ask him to log out of my fucking thing so China can play Destiny.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and finish all my lessons.
Put it in.
You got lessons?
Sounded wrong. Not lessons, like, chapters. I have to do notes on chapter. There's like 4 or 5 lessons in it.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, China?
No, not really. Just
Is
school,
it something
broken
that's
system.
stupid that you want?
Huh?
Isn't there anything stupid that you want to like question or something that comes to your mind?
Here's one thing. They say they give a lot of students opportunities and blah blah blah. Yet there's, you know the amount of students that are walking the halls.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean,
And then
that's
they also have to account teachers have favorites, bro.
Facts.
yeah.
Like you cannot honestly go by and tell me that like
Every
oh,
teacher.
we give
sees
every kid
everyone
an equal
equally.
opportunity. Hell, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah,
I
no,
guarantee
they really
you.
don't. They don't. Like me, like I said before, I have bad grades. What do my teachers do? Nothing. Literally by like the beginning of the year, my fucking teachers, all my teachers said, if you're doing bad, I'm gonna try my best to get you back on topic. I will not let you fall. They're not doing shit about me. They just let me be there. They literally see me in class and they don't talk to me. They don't fucking teach me one-on-one. There's only one teacher that does that, and I actually like her. She's my favorite teacher because she actually does her job. All the other teachers, they just watch me there. They just like let me sleep. They let me skip class sometimes. They don't do anything about it. They don't call my parents or anything like that. All these other kids that are walking on halls, they don't do shit. Oh, they get a letter from court saying that they have to go to court for skipping class. Oh, that's gonna stop them? No, they still fucking skip class. They fucking get suspended from school. Like fucking teachers are suspending kids just to like get them back on topic, think about what their mistakes, blah blah blah. They come back, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
Suspension is actually something very stupid. Like, especially it's like, oh, they're ditching class,
They don't wanna
suspend
be
them
there,
so
you're
they
giving
ditch
them what
even
they
more
want.
class. That's like literally
Exactly.
what they want.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, they're skipping classes. Let's suspend them for like 3 days or so, and then they literally like what? They're skipping class. Now then you suspend them for, and then now they're skipping class again. Like that's what they want. Exactly. They
Like,
come
you're
back.
giving them
do the
exactly
same-
what they want.
They
and
come.
it's like,
they come
bro.
back. They come back. They do the exact same thing, and then they suspend them again for even longer time, and then they do the same thing, and then to the point where they get enough suspensions for them to get expelled.
They're getting off easy. You're literally the whole point, like literally the whole thing about suspension is you're giving them exactly what they want. They don't want to be there at school. They
No one
clearly
wants to
shown
be
you
there
that.
at school.
That's what I'm saying.
No one-
I
literally-
I see the purpose of in-school suspension though. You're gonna be
Yeah,
in
I was
school
just
and you're
thinking
gonna be doing the work.
And one thing they do a lot, school does a lot, which they're doing a stupid thing about, is they compare students with students. Like, oh, look at this student having like really high good
Bro,
grades.
oh my
Look at
God,
this
if there's-
student having really bad grades. You know damn well just doing that is not gonna motivate people. They're just gonna fucking bring them down. Like, why is this guy better than me? Like,
Yeah.
no, it's like.
If there's one thing that would like make me mad more than anything is when people start trying to compare me to other people. I'm like, don't do that.
You know,
that's like my number one thing that I hate.
That's one thing I hate too. My parents do that all the time. Like, why can't you be like your brother? I'm like, my
They do
brother.
it with my
I'm like, my
oh
I'm like,
God,
my
I
brother is my
can't
brother, and I
stand
am
it, bro.
My fucking
Kinda can't
parents used to like.
I don't know what that. No, they do that. They do that with my like my my brain shutting down.
They do that, but
My
they do that
aunt
the
and
bad way
uncles.
for me. They're like, parece igual que tu, like your cousin. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah,
Because she
no,
also
like,
had
they
bad
do-
grades,
they
like
do.
hella bad grades. And so
I
they
hate when they
compare
do it,
me
but in
like
the
her.
different- But the other director. Fuck, my brain shutting down.
No, it's like no. I'm trying to hear. It doesn't even have to be your family members though. Like it could be your family members, but then also
It could
if
be
you have
friends,
a friend,
it could be other
it could be
people.
friends. Yeah,
They,
it could be
they
friends.
do that with
And-
with my aunt and uncle who like have like doctors. Yeah, who
This
one's
is- so, like-
radiologist. Yeah.
No, but like
Shit.
you can have a friend, and your friend could be as smart as you or dumb as you, and then you invite them over.
They
You
could.
invite them over.
What? What?
He could be smart as you or dumb
China,
as you.
they don't
and then
compare us. The fuck? They
I know.
think we're dating, for God's
He
sake.
said facts, facts. No, but I'm talking about how as dumb as you. Yeah.
No, see, so you can be dumb or smart. Invite them to your house, and then you're like really polite to your parents. Obviously, that's what you want to do, right? You want to get into the good side, and they automatically think that they're a really good person. So like, oh, why can't you be like them?
Yeah.
Gets up, washes dishes. Oh, why can't you
Who's that?
wash the dishes like Jose?
Feeds your friend dinner. He cleans his own dishes. Oh, see, why can't you do your dishes? Which I do.
Flames have gone cold.
It's
keep
just-
running away from you,
that's
Chris.
really. It's like not even. It's
I mean,
like
I'm terrifying.
It's
What do you
school.
expect?
It's school, but then it's just society.
Zone A.
That's how it is. People are ranked. You have the really rich.
And then you're gonna,
bronze.
have boomers saying, "Well, back in my time, things were a lot different
This
or
ain't your time.
difficult or stuff like
No,
that."
that's
You know what I
and
mean?
yeah, that's
But
literally
like
that's
times
the
thing
have
that I
changed,
thought was
old
really-
man. They're still as hard, just
that's what-
different.
I was gonna say something. I read this thing and I found it really interesting, and it's about parenting. It's like you cannot teach your parent or you cannot teach your kids a world that doesn't exist no more.
That's true. My dad used to do that. Well, my dad still does that all the time. Like I will like, I will try something new, and like try so hard, and then they pretty much bring me down. Like they don't have faith in me at all. Like, what's it called? I told my parents. I told my parents I'm gonna start working out because I'm trying to get fit, or like I'm just
Facts.
like I'm just trying to do that, and blah blah blah. And they just and what do? They just laugh. They laugh at me, like, straight to my face. And I start doing it, and then they're like dumbfounded, like they're seeing me doing it, but they still bring me down. And my parents, I don't know how to use an example, but like my dad will always remind me about how when he was a child he had to work as a kid, and then later get up at 5 in the morning, ride 2 buses just to go to school.
Yeah, ride 2 buses, go through the river, up Mount Everest.
Exactly.
Just to get to school. I'm like, oh
I always hated that. I'm like, I'll wake up late to school. I'll wake up late to school, or like not wake up at all and stay home, and then my dad will always be like, I had to ride 2 buses just to get to school, and you can't even do that, blah blah blah. Like every single time he would take me to school on the car, like whenever I'm late, there's always be a lecture, and it is the exact same story. Like, okay,
that's why I hate That's why I hate Wednesdays, bro. I hate Wednesdays.
Bro, I used to hate it when I'd get in trouble.
I actually am not shitting you. Every single Wednesday, I always get a lecture from my dad for some fucking stupid reason.
Just go. If you ever ride, just go to the church with me, and I'll. But dude, like, I hate it whenever I used to get in trouble, and like I'd get the hour-long lecture that came with it, and it like for me it was just like, please just hit me. Like I'd rather be hit than fucking.
Mama, hit me,
mother.
Don't be afraid. Just do it.
Don't be shy. Put some more.
Just
I hate that we're all meme lords. Oh my god. Don't be shy. Hit some more.
No, but like my parents, like they always bring back the old times. Like, okay, I get it. Like now, like, you know, back then, I guess you could say blue is male, pink is female, blah blah blah. A guy who wears pink. Oh,
silver
you're
is
now.
neutral. That's why you have your hair silver.
I wear gray.
No. See, my parents will always call me gay. They always thought I was gay. We had family over, and then I would never be with the family. I'm always in my room, and they act like I can't even hear them. They're like eating in the living room, and then like I can hear them having a conversation.
I hate having family over. Oh my god, that is so relatable.
I hate when we have family over and they're like, clean your room. Oh, I'm sorry, we're dining in my room.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not a big problem for me, if I'm being honest with you. It is, annoying, but it is annoying, but it's not a big ass problem as them literally talking about you and shit talking you for like the next
it's like
hour.
Oh my god. I'm just in my room with my door closed and they're talking really loud. I'm like, bitch, I can fucking hear you. I will always hear them thinking about like, oh, I think he's gay, blah blah blah, and shit like that. And then later, they wonder why I never bring a girlfriend over or tell them about I'm dating someone or talking to someone, because they would just laugh at me or just like fucking
China,
like, yeah,
you can relate.
or I would hate it because like whenever every single time I told my mom.
China's lost his fuck.
I told my mom or dad.
Huh?
I told my mom and dad.
Hold on, what? Hold on, Chris, what?
What? China, just keep on listening.
Whenever I told my mom and dad that I had a girlfriend, first thing they do is like, when are they gonna come over? When am I gonna see them? They just keep on bothering me. And then if I break up with them for specific reason, and it's like really honest reason, like my recent ex.
I heard that.
Like my recent ex.
Let them what would
they do? What would they do? They will keep reminding me of her over and over and over again. Like, okay, I get it.
I can relate.
When Tony broke up with his ex, my mom will always be like, "Where's Rachel? Do you still talk to her? Blah blah blah." They do that to me too. Do you still talk to her?
I hate the. Do you still talk? Like what?
I'm like, bitch, I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck. I'm not talking to her. She's probably dating someone else right now. I don't give a fuck. You have her phone number. You have her mom's phone number. Why don't you talk to them? They
Wasn't
just
this about school?
compare. Yeah, it really was. It went from school to society to family.
I'm such a douchebag.
Oh my god, I spoke about ice cream.
You're choking on ice cream?
I told about I quit.
Oh,
Hey Google. Hey Google, I talk about ice cream. Of course you don't, bitch.
Huh?
Here's the main thing. China school brings down students, not help them.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that what I heard?
Something like the school kills the artist.
Uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. Oh, there's a really good YouTube video you can watch on that.
What's the name?
I forgot, but
Bruh.
I saw it when I was in art, and then it was a guy that was talking about it, and he was talking about how the education system kills people that are creative, and it kills creativity and shit like that.
The school focuses on teaching you stuff that you won't need at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't need to know a lot of math, but people have to be calculus.
Cause like you also have to remember it's a different time now. Like they should literally teach you what's relevant instead of what's irrelevant.
Chocolate.
Like history,
With
history is
vanilla and
required. Why the fuck do I want to know?
History's
Like, really,
understandable though. You also have to.
yeah,
I mean, not all of it.
I get it,
but,
I
yeah.
get it, I get it. But then it's still like, not that like you could be American and not know about your own fucking country's history.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people. You can ask them, who was the first president?
Who?
Abraham Lincoln.
Corey. How do you feel about the
Corey, make sure you
talk
put on
about
full
the
screen.
broken
we
school
were
system.
talking about. We were trying to make a podcast about the education system, how stupid it is. How do you feel about it, Corey?
It's retarded. It's,
Well, also, hold on. If
Okay, you can't just say it sucks. But, like you could like be having bad grades, but why do you think it sucks? Like actually.
There's no more DLCs.
it's not focused. It should be career focused.
Oh,
You should pick your career and you should take the classes to get.
No, that's actually kind of true.
Choose a
Like
career
right now we're
path in
supposed to do
middle
online
school.
classes.
You should get your
I was supposed to,
basic learning
we're
done
supposed to go back to
in,
school.
and elementary school.
I
Yeah,
was
like,
supposed to go back to
my
school
my
on
school closed
Monday.
for another
Career
week.
path.
I was supposed to go back at the end of the month. My school closed for another
Whatever you
week.
need to get
So
your
now
career.
after spring break is when I come back.
And then by
See,
doing
no,
that,
this
they
is
should-
for
that
me.
would eliminate
So
college.
There's
We
so
got-
many people
we
talking.
got-
I don't know what the hell's going on.
so my school just recently got out of
Shut up!
summer break, right?
Shut up!
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to
So-
Flores. Flores is talking. He has the table.
So I had spring break. Mine was supposed to be over a Monday, but my school got canceled for the rest of the year.
oh, that's
and
literally
so-
what we're about to do to ours too.
For the rest of the year, I'm supposed to do online classes. Yet we don't know exactly what to do. No
Fucking
email, no
annoying.
nothing. The only email we got from our school was
you're
about
annoying as
if
fuck.
of
No one wants to
those
hear your
students,
bad
if
fucking
those
singing ass.
students that need food.
I care,
They can go
motherfucker.
to,
Yeah, they can go to the school and pick it up,
schools.
right?
Yeah, to these
Yeah.
three schools, but then
That's
they
why you
have
got
like their parents
friends.
have to. If their parents are gonna go, they have to take the student with them for like not any random ass person could go in there and grab food. It has to be a student. But then that's the only email that we got. We haven't got an email about, oh, this is how we're gonna do school online class. This is what website we're gonna use. Blah 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 blah. They haven't not told us anything about that.
Yeah,
You
well,
also have to remember
my
that I
school-
don't think they've actually thought that far yet. You know, they're trying to plan everything out.
I
too.
mean, to be fair, they didn't even think it was gonna get to this extent.
yeah.
Yeah. And like, if you also look at it, some schools, like, they don't have that good of reputation, so they really don't have like that far to like go. Like some schools are poorer, so they don't really have the necessary tools to like reach out more often.
That's true, yeah. But my school canceled the school ahead of time. Like they
So,
have plenty of time to prepare. They have not.
So, I just killed myself in an accident. Wow. So, in my school, if you're in like choir or band, you get like, it's like almost every 4 years you get a trip down to Disney. Well, now, my school's trying to keep that trip ahead because like there's always a senior dinner for the seniors, and you know I'm getting a
No
senior.
graduation from us.
Yeah, I'm getting a senior dinner. So with the director, and so basically, Florida has already mandated that anyone like in certain states, they have to be like in quarantine for 14 days before they can go to anywhere in Florida. So by the time, if our trip doesn't get canceled, by the time we get there, we're already gonna miss the dates because we have to sit in Florida for 14 days before we can go anywhere. And also,
That's stupid. What the fuck?
exactly. And like,
If someone sits for 14 days and then leaves, and someone else has it, you get easily get sick again. You're gonna have to sit for more time.
Your guys'
Exactly.
like protocols are way different than ours.
What's next on Chris?
well, no, I'm going to Florida for Disney.
Hamburger.
Chris, what's
So
next?
Oh,
I'm coming
where
from
you
a
at?
different.
I have
That's
a
Florida's
basically full
mandate.
story.
I'm coming from
Where's
Jersey.
Hamburger at?
Right below us.
What?
I'm in Jersey. I live in Jersey.
Bro.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this let Corey talk, because Corey lives in Florida.
I don't know, Anthony.
Yeah, Florida. Corey, is that true? Yeah, and like,
You can only go shopping here. Like you.
Yeah, in California, if you don't have like mandated like things to do, then you
No,
can't
yeah,
go
no. Over
outside.
here, you can't even go out shopping. Can't go out shopping unless you need to. Like,
Yeah,
if you're like,
you can only
going
get
groceries-
like necessary, so groceries and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
how it is here.
Yo, no, so like, I went to go get water with my parents, and we tried to buy 3. They only let us buy 2, right?
Yeah, they have to ration
The
it out.
couple, the couple behind us, they were fucking smart. They grabbed 4, right? They try to do the same thing with them. They're like, but these are 2 different types of water, and they let them go. I was
Why
like,
didn't
oh,
it shoot?
Lord. He said these are small bottled waters, and these are big bottled waters,
Kill
and
him,
I'm like,
Corey, so
oh,
I can
okay.
get in here.
You know what I found completely retarded? After the,
Oh,
you know how
please.
the like the pandemic or whatever was announced, that's when like all the people started panicking, like obviously, and it's completely stupid. And literally that was just Friday, and by the time it was the weekend, everything was back to normal, like relatively back
Yep.
to normal. Like the places were still empty, but like the people were like not panicking, and everything went back to relative normal, like normal.
Mhm.
It was actually low-key retarded. People just panic too hard, like in these situations. Like, yeah, like pandemic, this and that, never happened, whatever. But you also need to control your own nerves. If you can't control them, then you're
That's
just...
true.
You
but-
don't need a fear, you need a plan. Or don't panic.
Am I
plan,
the
you know what
only
I mean?
one that think China isn't a lot of fault for letting people travel?
I'll tell
Dude,
you
they
something.
knew about it since January.
I got cut out
What
like
I do?
mid fucking sentence.
So you're talking about China?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, wait, what?
Like, what does he have to
China's
do? Like,
at
what do you do?
No, I'm talking about
I
like
forget
China
China's
the
a
country.
country.
Yeah, no, China the country. Like,
Forget
they
China's
let
a country too.
I was trying to say something about the fucking
They-
school system too, and I get
they-
kicked out of the party. I was wondering why everything was so silent.
First of all, I don't know why they're selling bats to the fucking retarded Chinese people. But second of all,
Dude,
I don't
have
know
you
why
seen
they
the
let
nasty ass
people
food that they're
travel.
feeding over there?
while sick, and I don't.
What do you mean
Right.
nasty?
That shit's moving, bro.
Takoyaki?
Okay, so.
Where?
In China, have you seen their freaking health market and everything? How they maintain food? It's
Yeah,
so
the American market is
disgusting.
bad.
Dude,
Okay.
it's so bad.
In the U.S., have you seen the
But
women?
it's also a different culture, bro. It's also a different culture. You also have to remember that.
Corey, what are you doing?
Also, hold on, let's kind of jump a little bit off the topic real quick at school and like jump into the topic of like this bullshit that's going on now. So,
We kind of were already in the topic.
Yeah.
okay, well, sorry.
way ahead of you.
I got kicked out of the party.
Oh.
Fuck China. It's China's fault.
So,
Huh?
so there's actually, this dude actually had a conspiracy theory that because Trump forced the free trade agreement to be signed or whatever, a free trade agreement to be signed or whatever, I forget what it's called, that they came up with this virus to fucking bring it to the US and basically start a war, if you think about it. Because
That's stupid.
That's what I told Corey,
Listen,
and Corey was
listen,
like,
so,
"No, it's
after,
stupid."
Well,
after
here's,
this, listen though, hold on. After this, right?
Biological
After this
warfare
happened,
is illegal, though.
I know, but after this happened though,
No, that's date on
China is literally controlling stocks right now.
Yeah, but the
China
stock
only
market
went
is
down, I
failing.
think, like yeah, because of this bullshit. And I think China only went down like 1.4% or something like that, he said. Well, you know, the US, we're going down a lot. Italy's going down a lot.
Like 20-40% drop.
Yeah, no, the
Exactly.
U.S. is literally there's not
But
really that
China-
many cases anymore in China.
Exactly. And
Hang on, can I-
everyone is talking bad on Donald Trump about this, about containing it. Think about it, we've only had like around what, a few thousand cases and only 40 deaths so far.
I mean, it kind of was his fault too. At the same time, like this
But
man
think
literally.
about it.
No,
China
but this
had
man
this
really.
back in like October.
Wait, hang on. No. You can't say it's his fault when he's trying everything he can to keep our economy.
No,
Exactly.
no.
But at the beginning of it, he was like,
That's what I'm saying. He literally shook a man who had it. He like shook the hand. He knew he had it. He shook his hand. And he said, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen."
But,
literally. Can I say like one thing?
Corey, just
yeah, go
don't
ahead,
die.
go ahead.
You know what Trump did?
Don't die. Don't die.
In Iran, they were trying to buckle us by freaking lowering the prices of all the oil rig costs and shit like that to try and buckle our economy here. And Trump went in and bought all of them since they were super cheap, and now we don't have to pay that much for gas anymore. That
Well,
itself,
no, an interesting
Trump has
fact.
or people have to understand, Trump is a businessman. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Exactly. And
You
everyone's
also have to
talking
remember
all
though, he
bad
is a
on it, but,
businessman. He's not a president.
yeah.
Yeah.
He really is that man,
Like
and not
that's
an
better.
economical man.
Honestly
Hey,
though,
but to
I'd
be
rather
fair-
have him in there than anybody else though, because
Yeah,
fucking
anybody else
everybody
right
else is
now,
so
he's way
stupid.
better.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not
honestly,
saying he's
look
not
at this,
he's
though.
not way better than everyone else. I'm just saying he is a businessman, so he
But
is
he's
low-key
doing a
retarded.
way
He's
better
what we-
job
he's
of containing
doing
this virus
100
compared to fucking China right now.
Yeah. It's
China
China's
has like over
fault that
1,000
it
deaths,
out-
right?
But,
China's
but
fault.
going
That's
along,
right.
but going along saying that it's China's fault is like they're like planned this. It's kind of going a little bit way too far though.
Dude,
Well, yeah,
think
that
about
was
it
a
since
conspiracy. Though.
January.
That was a conspiracy.
The thing is,
I'm-
China should have stopped transportation.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
did they?
yeah,
No,
they should've cut it off at source.
This technically is China's fault. He's
They
not wrong.
acted way too
because,
late.
and
China
plus-
acted way too late.
No, they didn't act way too late. They just didn't notify anything until way too late.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they
They know
kept
about
it
it since
under the
January. They
cover.
didn't isolate anybody. They didn't handle it properly like they were supposed to. They didn't follow any guidelines. And they're one of
And
the
look at what
worst
Trump's
healthcare
doing.
systems in the
The
world.
moment he found out about it, look at
They
us. We're only
hid
like
it for a solid like 3 months before it was
Yeah.
even known about.
yeah, and we only have 40 deaths compared to those fucking thousands.
The
But they're
coronavirus.
like
I mean, they
higher
are a more
population rate
saturated
than
place
us.
too, though.
Yeah, and higher concentration of people around them.
Well, still, but
Like
still, we're
that,
doing
that,
a
but
way
that
better job
doesn't
containing
lead.
it.
Like that doesn't add up right there. What you just said, man. Saying that
What?
because they have more deaths than us, that means that they're like, you know, they could prevent it and stuff
They're
like that.
overpopulated.
They're
Their healthcare
overpopulated,
systems
my
are
guy.
terrible.
No. What
There's
I'm
hella old
saying
people
is,
there.
yes, they're overpopulated, but they could have done a better job to contain it and also notify and cut off fucking travel. And it probably wouldn't have made it to Italy, wouldn't have made it to the fucking U.S. I think Italy's on full down fucking lockdown.
Yeah, it's been like
It
that for a
is.
while. That's why Pornhub Premium
So,
for
like-
free.
A long time.
So like, yeah, technically, we're doing a
Hey
better
man,
job
I
to
changed
contain
my
this shit.
VPN and it's 100% factual.
Me and Chris are thinking the same thing.
No, I actually changed my VPN. I actually have a VPN and changed it. And it's
I'm from
100% real.
But the thing is, there is some good things coming from this virus. Like in Italy, there's the
You get,
Venice now is
yes, you do
completely
get
clear.
Pornhub Premium for a whole
Yeah,
free month.
there's now a whole bunch of fish
Chris had a check.
I did. I was like, bruh, is this
Alright,
real?
hop
Change his
on, so I
VPN
can hop in.
Italy to the little
China's
island
air
that looks like a
pollution
dick.
is the lowest it's ever been.
freaking literally.
What if coronavirus was just to use to get people to calm down and put in lockdown
But the
so
thing,
they could stop
the
climate?
coronavirus is the coronavirus.
Some people think
been
it's for
around
population
the
controlling.
longest time.
I wouldn't doubt it if it was made
He
for
just has
population
that
control.
stupid fucking
I
exotic,
think,
dude.
I wouldn't doubt if it was meant for population control in China. But
That's
I
what I'm
don't-
saying. I think they made
But
it
I
for
think
pop-
it got out of hand, and that's why
Yeah.
it was under the book, like under.
This thing
Yeah.
has snow handling.
That's,
I think-
that's
I think
the
the
one thing I've
government-
been thinking about too.
Yeah, I think the Chinese government made it for population control, but they
Control?
didn't
No.
want to like they didn't
Well,
want to
ha-
alert the everywhere else by
No,
putting
there was
their like,
a-
borders on lockdown and stuff.
There was a doctor that found it. Obviously, he reported it, and then later they said, "Don't go public with it." And then
Yeah.
that doctor died from it.
died from it.
He died from corona.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
But what's it called? Coronavirus has been around for the longest time. It just not
Yeah,
It's
hasn't
like
been deadly.
December 2019, I think.
No, but it's just a mutation. Like literally, it's been
Yeah.
Yeah,
around
some
since forever.
And like honestly,
It's
if you have a
just a
strong
mutation
immune system,
strand.
you should be
Therefore,
fine.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's just
affect
a
you if you have a
mutation.
strong immune system. It literally
If you have a
affects people.
immune system and you're young, obviously he's not gonna affect that many. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
obviously,
affect
you're
you. It's
like
only gonna be like a regular flu.
25 and under. You're literally
Okay, but there
free.
is
You
a
can't
problem
get.
with medicine and stuff, because viruses
Well, no.
soon are gonna, virus and
25
bacteria soon are gonna start changing their DNA where they can't be stopped by like antibiotics.
Dude,
and stuff.
flu is changing
They're
every
already
year. That's why
talking-
there's a new flu shot every year.
That's what they're talking
Good
about
shit.
it, how viruses
What happened?
soon might be able to
You're
not be
cute.
able to stop by medicine and antibiotics.
Yeah, because soon it's not gonna
how much
matter.
they're being abused.
Can you tell someone something unique for I can
So
understand
soon
what
there
the
will be
fuck
like
you're
these
saying?
I can hear you, Eric,
superviruses
I'm
that
No,
that
someone else has
music
muted. I think it's
that
Godfrey.
medicine can't stop.
It
Yeah, but
is.
Corey, also, if you think about it though, now I don't know what I was about to fucking say. Oh yeah.
You weren't
So
even. You
if
said
you're
Corey.
25
Corey's not
and
even
under,
talking.
if you're 25 and under, it doesn't even matter. If you have something like asthma or something like that, and you're like like 18 or whatever, you're actually at risk because it affects.
I wouldn't say
No,
asthma.
it affects that. If you
No,
have a weak immune
asthma it
system,
is affecting it. Asthma
yeah,
is.
it does.
No.
It is a respiratory kind of. It's
Okay.
literally attached to the
Okay.
respiratory system. So if you do have asthma and you're 25, you're screwed. You're kind of screwed.
So I'm screwed.
Yeah, basically.
Oof.
And there's
Yeah,
a
my
shortage of
grandpa-
It
respirators
doesn't.
too. So.
It's not just the immune
That's
system.
right.
It also affects like respiratory
hairs
issues.
on
So
my
if you have a respiratory problem, you are going to be affected by this virus.
Diabetes.
Yeah, people who are recently wearing surgeries and stuff, they're going to be heavily
Okay, so what
affected.
that
Their
means.
immune systems are
You know what
weak
that
right
means,
now.
right?
What?
Every girl with HIV.
Every
yeah.
guy with HIV.
Wait,
Where do I
Every
take
girl with
this orb?
STDs.
Every
don't
trans
know where y'all
girl,
already took
trans
it.
guy with
I don't know where
Chris,
y'all are.
Chris is gonna die from diabetes.
Hey man, I don't have it, but okay.
Not
I'm
yet.
just.
yet.
I'm just thick. I'm
I didn't want to
just
say
thick.
it.
I'm just girthy.
I'm dead.
Finger bag.
It's like I'm really both said that.
Chris.
I but
just
I could
have
care
big
less if I'm
bones.
being honest with you. If I die, it's whatever. I'm really like, I really don't
Right
care.
here.
Hold on.
I
who's
just think
gonna
I'm
take us
scared of
place?
dying.
Who's gonna take us?
That's how I am too. If
A
I
lot of people are
died-
scared. A lot of people fear death, but death is inevitable.
See, no, the thing, I used to be really scared of death. Like, I honestly did not want. Like,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I used to cry. I used to cry in my parents' like shoulders, saying I don't want to die. Now I'm just like, okay.
It is what it is.
Matthew, I think.
If
But
if I
if
die,
shit goes to shit, I'm redneck, so I'm fucking living. I just hope y'all know that.
see, there's only one way I want to die though.
What?
I want to die in Truck Hunt's hands.
If I want to
You
die,
want to get isekai'd by a
I'd
truck?
rather kill myself than die to like a sickness.
I want to die to Truck Hunt.
I'd rather kill myself than die to like a sickness or a virus or some shit like that.
Just go skydiving without a backpack.
That's the way.
I think it's fun.
Find a
My
new
orb
hobby.
disappeared.
I don't know. It's just like the whole way that schools are dealing about this too, though, is like they're not doing it necessarily right. Like with this online bullshit, they're not necessarily doing it right.
They got me fucked up if they think I'm gonna do it.
I think
Because,
a lot
like-
of these schools, there's a lot of it's going to be enforcement problems and problems about
Yeah.
like poor communities and stuff.
I want, and then I want
And
that's
to
because
also,
online
also
is
there's
not
going to
an
be issues
actual,
for the
like,
students that
viable
aren't good
option.
at learning online too.
And then
No,
what
but
about
no,
viable
screw the whole
option.
learning online. Like, actually getting
Just
everyone
wait.
online is not a viable option. Because
Yeah,
most
no, like,
households
no, like,
can't have internet or
Yeah, that's what I'm
can't
saying. Like,
access,
what about
like,
the
My
computers.
school is
without
actually
internet?
trying to set up hotspots for our people without internet in our school.
Oh, we have those. Our school gave away hotspot things, but that was a long time ago. I don't
Oh,
think
fuck.
they did it
Put it
anymore.
down. Put it down.
Huh?
Throw it down.
But no, it's just
Matt,
some schools
can
are
you-
just
can you
like
do certain
taking
close,
it
Matt?
way out.
This one's not it.
And you
Corey.
can't? I thought that was implied for everybody.
Damn, I already did that.
In between cues. Oh, that's what I always clean up this fucking room. Don't even fucking talk.
They're all
Don't
tethered.
put away any of your shit.
all do it tomorrow, but that shit better not hit the fucking floor. And I got one flea that's I'm gonna
Corey, that's the wrong door.
all you guys will be gone. Phones and all, I'll be all
Oh, I need to go pick up pieces of it before these lunch.
Let me
I
see
think
this
the
too.
schools it'd be probably just best to wait.
Nah, that's not optional. That's not optional waiting.
Oh
No.
fucking god, Matt, can
Waiting
you hurry
is
the fuck
actually
up?
the worst option.
You. Okay, I'm fucking pissed.
Because if you wait, then you're also limiting a lot of like time for like everything else. Core, what are you doing?
Yeah. And then you have the problem of like trying to catch up with what you were learning before.
Yeah, well, we were trying to have this
Coronavirus was
debate like a fucking year ago.
Fuck.
Dude, I'm on a step where I have to get kills with hand cannons now.
I think it'd honestly be best to send out an email or with like a lesson plan to parents, then like send out like a packet and try to see if the parent could teach
Yeah.
or guardian. Not like this huge overload of a packet, but just
That's
small little
not gonna
lessons.
work either.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work either.
You're really expecting every kid is gonna actually do that, or every parent's actually gonna do that? You know how many
And most
households
parents are gonna
actually
be working
neglect
or have
their
other
kids?
stuff to do than that.
There's really not a lot they can do. to
There's no
do this
viable
effectively.
option that is 100% gonna be effective to everyone.
Hmm
Is Godfrey talking?
You can't do internet because not everyone has that. You can't do
can't do
computers because
online
not everyone
classes
has
because
that.
people
You
are
can't do
already, like,
packets because
finding
you don't learn
ways.
from packets. You can't give it to the parents because the parents aren't, licensed,
Exactly.
so
Yeah,
it's
they
not
gave
gonna
us
count.
packets. Yeah, and they expect us to do these packets, but we're not gonna learn anything from these
The
packets.
packets don't
School
even count
system-
for anything though. You do
Well, the
realize that,
school
right?
system is already,
They're
yeah.
just trying to entertain you.
They said
And
our
plus-
packets are gonna count for grades, but I don't know.
You know,
Sounds like someone you know?
I didn't know. What are you gonna do about those parents that like are from a different country or something? And
Yeah,
you learn
a
different.
foreign language country. They're not gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah,
You're
like
gonna teach,
like our
teach it
parents,
in
like
Spanish
like,
and Arab or something.
like the packets. Yeah, exactly. The packets might be like, oh, these speak Spanish. All right, this is in Spanish, and then they can teach your student. That's not gonna work either, because like they obviously like they went to school too, and they probably like learn differently. So they're not gonna be able to teach it either, because they're not gonna understand it themselves, even with instructions. Like I'm like most of the time I have to help my parents like teach my brothers because
Now
they
you
don't
understand how
understand the
annoying it is?
instructions.
Yeah.
Well, the school system's already messed up because the way they're teaching doesn't work.
Nothing's working right now.
Yeah,
That's-
I don't understand why school
We just
has to
did
do
full
like this,
circle. The
like-
entire education system is stupid. That's literally what the entire topic was about.
Hold on. Listen though, hold on. With the,
Yeah.
the whole
You know what,
education
Chris? I'm
system
just
ready?
uploading this as my final.
You wanna know?
You could.
You